Hey everyone, I'm Dockwell, and welcome to Dota 2. This video is going to be for anybody who's new or who's trying to get into Dota from scratch, from ground zero, who hasn't really ever played the game or has only played the game a little bit. I'm going to show you how to get into the game, how to start learning the game, and what to do after you've, mastered some of the basics, but then how to get to like progressing, getting better, ranking up, all of those things, the general mindset that you want to have, and all of those kinds of things. But just we're going to start out what to do when you boot up the game for the first time, or you just, start the game, you don't have any idea what you're doing, you don't know anything about Dota 2. Well, when you start up the game, it might just put you in straight to the tutorial, depending on some of the options you pick. But if it doesn't, you can just go to the Learn tab here, and you can find all of the new player experience stuff from here. And even if you kind of know a little bit about Dota, or you've played another similar game, I would still play through all of this because Dota is going to have some mechanics that you may not know. Even if you think you know some of the mechanics or a lot of the mechanics, just go through all of this. It doesn't take that long. Some of these are 3 minutes, 5 minutes, that kind of stuff. And it'll just show you all of the basics. And once you have that, then you'll have kind of a basic understanding of all of the things like the towers and the ancient and all of that kind of stuff. Purchasing items, leveling up your hero, teleporting, anything like that. And so I don't really have to go through that because thankfully Valve has that here for you. But then once you're done with this, you might be asking, okay, well, what do I do now? Well, if you ever want to learn anything or you have a question, this Learn tab is always here. Has a glossary of different mechanics, and there's a lot of mechanics here in Dota. It also has all of the items listed here as well, so you can see what they do and what they build into and everything. When you select one, you can see the components and what it builds into and all of those different things. And then the other important, obvious one is all of the heroes. So if you select the Hero tab, you can see all of the heroes here, and you can select any of them and see their abilities and what they do, and have like, here's your cosmetics and all of that stuff. And so this is important that you obviously can start learning some of the heroes. But the way that you do that is by clicking play and going up here, either to practice with bots or the new player mode, whichever kind of one. I would say this is just default, but then you can do practice with bots if you find that you don't like this as much, or you're playing with other people or whatever it is. You can just do the practice with bots default, so you're practicing with bots, and you can select the difficulty and everything. And this is how you can kind of get into your first game. You can try out a hero, you can try out the movement, you can try out everything that you learned, and that's what I would suggest doing. You can play as many of these as you want until you're like, ready to get into playing with real people. It's up to you. I would say you should at least be able to like beat easy. You should be able to beat passive, maybe easy, pretty consistently before you jump into a real game, because there's all kinds of crazy levels of experience and ability with this game. But if you're really that new and you don't have the ability to beat, easy bots, you should at least do that. And this is where, obviously, you can experiment with all kinds of heroes and all that kind of stuff. But if you really want to learn what a hero does and you're just interested and you don't really know what the heroes do, you can always click on them and just click demo mode. So you can do this with any hero, and it'll put you in a kind of small little lobby. It's not a full game. This is how I make hero guides. It's pretty simple. You can kind of do anything here. You can spawn enemies, you can level the enemies up, you can spawn dummy targets, give yourself free spells, level yourself to max, do all of these things, and then you can just experiment with what all of the abilities do, with the attack animation, with the damage, with the walking, everything about a hero. And this is the best way to just learn the basics of a hero if you're, curious about what the hero does. So those are all the ways to start learning the heroes and, learning the game. Do the tutorial, look up some of the items, look at some of the heroes, play some bot matches, and all of that kind of stuff. So let's say you have that all out of the way. You know some of the heroes, you know some of the items, you played against bot matches, you're sick of that, you're a little bit bored. Well, the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to play unranked all pick. And when you do that, you're going to want to pick one hero and spam that hero. Maybe two if that hero gets picked or that hero is like banned or whatever. Then you can pick another hero. But basically, you want to have a main hero that you're going to spam. And how you pick that hero is by going down here and clicking complexity. So you click this little one thing, and it gives you all of the pretty simple and straightforward heroes that you can play. So I would say just pick one of these heroes, whatever one you think is coolest. It doesn't even matter if it's just because it looks cool, or you look at the abilities, or you played with it a little bit, or you played against it and you think it's like interesting. Just pick one, whatever one it is, and just play that. It can be mid, it can be support, it can be carry, it can be literally anything, but just play this hero for about 100, 200, whatever games, a few hundred games. And the reason why you're going to do this is because it's going to allow you to understand that hero, what it does, but it's also going to allow you to learn every hero in the context of that one hero. So I actually started out the game many, many years ago playing Drow. I basically picked a Drow and I went mid every single game. I played with some friends and stuff, and I just did this for about 200 games, maybe even 300. I don't know. It was a lot of games that I played Drow mid. And what this did for me is this allowed me to learn not only how she wins games and what she does and all of her abilities, but it also allowed me to learn what every other hero does, because I learned, well, if I'm against an Earthshaker, this is what the Earthshaker does, because the Earthshaker stuns me and can jump on top of me and all those things with a blink and this and that, and it's harder for me to get away. I need to buy BKB or whatever it is. I learned about Earthshaker in the context of playing Drow. And the same thing will be true for any hero. You'll learn what another hero does. So when you pick Jug, for instance, and you have this built-in magic immunity, BKB, you'll learn what that means. You'll learn what abilities go through that. You'll learn what abilities don't go through that, what things can kill you, what things can't kill you, and all of that kind of stuff. You'll learn like how to position your hero, where it's very vulnerable that you'll die. Like obviously if you just run into a tower and you're going to get killed by a bunch of heroes, you'll start learning that, all of those things. And the problem is, a lot of times, where you're going to die, who kills you, all of that stuff is very hero specific. So to start learning that, that's why you need to pick that one hero and spam it, because that's how you're going to learn what the other heroes do in the context of that hero. And it's very, very important. And then, after you've played this hero for, a few hundred games, what you should be able to do is you should be able to tell me kind of what every hero does. Not like completely, you don't need to know every spell, but like, oh, Skywrath Mage, magic damage, bursts me down with his abilities. CM has kind of a stun, a slow, and like a channeled ult or something like that. It doesn't have to be that big of a deal, but generally know what the heroes do. And then at that point, maybe you unlocked ranked, maybe you didn't, but basically, by the time you unlocked ranked, it's right around there, I would say. And you can experiment with playing other heroes if you feel like you've gotten the hang of that hero and you're learning the other heroes and you find another one that's interesting. Obviously, you don't have to stick to the script 100%. Do what is fun, because having fun is obviously the most important thing to keep you playing. But basically, once you've learned the game pretty well, and probably around the time that you unlock ranked, you need to do the next step. And the next step is picking a role and picking 3 heroes within that role and spamming them. And this is how you're going to learn your role. This is how you're going to learn the game. This is how you're going to learn everything. And this is the big thing that I see with players that are new, players that are in Herald, players that just unlocked ranked, what have you, have only been playing for a couple months. They kind of jump all over the place. And this is not what you want to do. You want to pick a role and pick 3 heroes. It doesn't matter what role. It doesn't matter what heroes. It's just heroes that are in that role, obviously. So heroes that play that role generally. And it doesn't really matter, but you just need to have those heroes so that you can spam them, so that you can learn the role, so that you can learn the game and start ranking up from there. Now, if you did that for a while and you decided, oh, I want to pick, a different role or something like that, that's okay. But the only way to learn the game, the only way to get better at it, is to pick a role and pick heroes. And once you're doing that step, once you're at ranked, once you're picking heroes, I think it's okay to pick kind of whatever hero you want now. Don't focus on just the complexity. I still wouldn't suggest picking Invoker or Morphling or things like that, but if you really like that hero, you like how it plays, you like how you've seen it play and all of those kinds of things, you like how it controls, all of that, then just go ahead and pick it, because what's important is having fun with the hero, playing a hero you like. So pick whatever 3 heroes you want with whatever role you want, and just spam them, because that is the most important thing. That's how you're going to learn how to play the game. And then from there, you can do all of the things necessary to learn the game, which is watching replays, getting coaching, all of those things, watching videos like mine, whatever it is. And before I leave you in this video, I just wanted to say one thing is, once you get to that step, once you start, getting better, playing ranked, playing your role, spamming your heroes, you want to go to this watch tab. And because this is going to be a very, very important part of getting better at the game. Because when you click live here, it'll show you some of your friends' games, but it'll also show you professional players, high-ranked, rank 1 professional players and the games they're in and the heroes they're playing. And so you can just click this watch in-game, and it'll take you right into the game, and you can watch that player's perspective. And this is how you're going to get better at the heroes that you like. So let's say I like Slark. So if I type Slark in here, it'll pop up a game with a very high-ranked player who's playing Slark, and I can just jump in and watch that Slark game. Now, this is everything that's happening live, but you can also go to websites like Dota Buff or Dota 2 Pro Tracker and find games that pros have played, and that's where you'll go to the Replays tab, and you'll put the match ID here, you'll download a replay, and you'll watch that replay there, and you can watch the entire game from that player's perspective, and that is going to be how you're going to be able to improve upon your game a lot. By watching replays, watching videos on YouTube, and those kinds of things, but definitely replays in the game of pro players, of players better than you, and all of that kind of stuff. So, that is my introduction to Dota 2. That is how to start learning the game, kind of the general overall concepts or ideas of how to get better, how to start from scratch, how to start from zero, and work your way up through the game. Is obviously do the welcome stuff, do the tutorial, do the basic mechanics and all those things to learn the game, look at some of the items and the heroes and all of that kind of stuff, then play against bots, just experiment, demo some heroes, all of that kind of stuff, learn some of the basics, then just play unranked and play maybe one hero, maybe two heroes, a bunch to learn the game. Then once you have unlocked ranked, or around the time that you unlocked ranked, the thing that you need to do is pick a role, pick 3 heroes in that role, and just spam them a ton, and then watch videos and watch replays of pro players or better players to learn how to play that hero and to, get better at that hero. So, I hope that this video has helped you guys, that it makes everything clear about how to get into the game to really start getting better at it. I think this is probably one of the best methods to get better at the game. And as always, when you're following this, obviously you can adjust things as you want. You can just pick heroes that you like. If you're changing the hero that you like, or you find new heroes that you like to experiment with, do that by all means, because one of the cool things about this game is how different all the heroes are. So experimenting with things and finding out what you like is an important part of the game. So, as always, guys, I hope this helped you. I hope this was good information for you. If you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, all of those things. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Link is below if you want me to take a look at one of your replays. I'll do that in the Discord from now on. As always, I have coaching now available, so the coaching link is below as well. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.